Hey, it's Maz, the UHQR Jimi Hendrix Are You Experienced? Now, you know I'm not a fan of unboxings, and you know I am not a fan of these limited editions in these big, thick boxes when it's a single album. I don't know why they do that. I'll get into that a little bit. Literally, it's Sunday. This is from Acoustic Sounds. We'll see, fantastic record of Jimi Hendrix, UHQR, Are You Experienced, stereo, the American version. Now, it's Sunday. FedEx delivered this on Sunday. And check this out. I have one of those Ring doorbells where if someone's standing in front of my door, I'm notified. So FedEx drops this off, $125 plus, what is it, $150 with shipping and tax and everything. They don't ring the doorbell. They kind of put it on the landing. So apparently they just put it there so it didn't even ring that, the Ring doorbell. They didn't get a sensation, that's creepy. I didn't get a notification or a sensation from this delivery. You know, geez, $150 item and they don't even tell you there. You know, people steal shit left and right in America. I'll be playing this and comparing it to a 1968 reprise, not the original, not the second Steamboat, not the original Steamboat. I have a stereo version of that. I have the Merino cut from, what is it, 5, 6, 7 years ago? Was it 2013, 2015, whatever that is. I also have, which I probably won't compare it to, but I have a OG UK mono, different track listing, and I have a mono reissue from that same time. After I listened to this, after I listened to them, not new needle drops, but this is it. It's got this beautiful World Book Encyclopedia, circa 1965 spine. It's got gold foil. Why do you need gold foil? Why do you need this box? Anyway, people hate that I jump on these boxes all the time, but I will say Acoustic Sounds does fantastic releases. I love their products. I love their RCA classical series. I love their rock and roll, love the Doors things. Those are in beautiful Stoughton jackets and they don't have a friggin' box. So anyway, we'll get on this in a little while, but there you go. And stand by for this sort of mini review from my point of view. Love the record. We'll see what happens. In case you want to know, this is a Riga RP8 with a Hanna ML moving coil cartridge with a Riga Aria phono stage through a Hegel 390 integrated amp. Okay, so I spent the afternoon listening several plays of the new UHQR Jimi Hendrix Are You Experienced. I compared it to the 2010 QRP pressed, I think it's the Merino cut. I think it was 2010 and then reissued 2015, I think. I think this one's still available. How much is this? $25, give or take. Beautiful cover, matte finish, very similar in style to the original version, which was a matte cover, except this is a gatefold. And the Merino, the QRP, which is still available for a reasonable price, I think, has a booklet. It's a smaller cut booklet than the 12-inch, and it has 8 or 9 pages. I think 8 pages. It's 8 pages with a Dave Marsh essay, okay? We do get in the new version, an updated version of this with a new essay, not Dave Marsh, and a full scale version of it. Now, I also listened to a 1968 reprise press, the Steamboat, but the Orange Steamboat, not the original. So it's the second year the record was out. So I don't remember all the details right now in the dead wax, but I do have that version, which was an early version of mine, and sounds really good. That might be better than this, not in terms of the dynamic. It just, this isn't like a audiophile recorded record, but it's a great, friggin' record. Now, let me cut to the chase. I'll tell you my opinion. The UHQR sounds fabulous. I'm pleased with it, but I am going to put an asterisk, and I'll explain why as we go in on it. And it's your decision whether you want to upgrade and get a version like this. If you're an audiophile, you're all in on these UHQR and the box set concepts and the special super vinyls and the whatever the single origin process of record making. All the power to you. I step in lightly on some of it. Let me say this, acoustic sounds, again, as I said earlier, I'm a big fan of QRP. I love, in terms of box sets, I love their box Starker. That was at 8 LPs, 45 RPMs, stunning. That's the reason you need a box set, not for one record, in this viewer's, listener's opinion. About the Merino 2010 cut, it's a bright record. It's somewhat bright, on the edge of brightness, again, system dependent. Now, for those of you who have been watching my videos know, I'm in a live room, a very live room. I'm not relegated down to a dark, dingy basement when you have no friends come over and your girlfriend and wife doesn't want to step foot down there because your beer cozy hasn't been cleaned in 16 years or something. But I get that, and I get it. You saw my system breakdown, but it is a live room, so I'm going to have reflective surfaces. I'm sure you can hear that in my voice. So take that into consideration in terms of my review. One man's opinion, one man's taste. Musically, a game changer, this record, really well. So let's now jump to this UHQR. I've already said ad nauseum to my videos about my complaints of these kind of boxes. My guess is that they're never going to change. And the reason they're never going to change because of you who bought the first however many UHQR ones. You'd be pissed off if you got a version of this that they updated the box, made it modern, made it just brought it into 2022 in the future, because it wouldn't match your friggin' row of boxes on the shelf. And everybody just wants their boxes to look great on the shelf. Now, as I said, encyclopedia. Now, of course, I think Chad, I believe when they started this, replicated some classical records from the 1950s or something, and that's where this whole wooden type spine came from. Come on, wooden type spine, really? You know what I think about? Look at these books. You can have volumes of books on your bookshelf. I mean, what are you, like the Library of Congress or the whatever? So this is what you get with Jimi Hendrix records and Kinda Blue records. So just my opinion again, one man's opinion. Now, what I will say is I wish, and they're not going to change it now. Look at this. Now this is a multi-record set with a book and beautiful, but this is modern. Now, forget the paintings. I mean, I do like the paintings, but wouldn't have this been good if these UHQR, look at this slipcase. How easy is that? They could have had the Stoughton jackets and something like this, maybe with a second booklet or something. Much simpler. You don't have to open the box like this and pull it out and then pull out another doohickey. Now look at this. There's more room for stuff. Why do you need this room? Why do you need a box? The plus side, Stoughton covers are always gorgeous. They're beautiful, gatefold. You remember the original album of this, it was not a gatefold, it was a single sleeve. The Merino, the 2010 QRP added the gatefold. I believe that's the first time a gatefold was added. beautiful Clarity vinyl. Is this called Clarity? I get confused with all these vinyl pressings. Now, let me talk about this gorgeous record. Just sans color, beautiful. Now, they have used the machine presses, as I understand. Was it the fine built that they used for the last UHQR of the Kind of Blue? They stopped using. And I think, just my guess is, there were a lot of problems with those pressings. Mine was not as quiet as it should have been. Mine was noisy, but not super noisy. I ended up keeping it. But I think they got a lot of returns on those. So I think this is a better, switching to the normal press. There's 25,000 of these. I believe there were, no, 20,000 of these, excuse me. I believe there were 25,000 of Kind of Blue. So fantastic pressing. Not a skip, not a pop, not a tick. Mine is not totally flat. It's very flat, and it's good enough for me. Some people might get a little too persnickety about it. If you looked at that shot I saw with my cart, the close-up early in this video, you can see the slight wave. But records aren't a perfect medium, but when you're paying $125 plus, you expect it to be super flat. I'm at number 508. Again, beautiful reproduction, can't complain. The best in the business, definitely. Now, what my people call, this is all the chazarai, this is all the junk inside, all the extras. The promo thing, okay. Put a promo thing in the box, you don't have to slip it in, it's just to fill up the box, personally. I won't get into all that. Those of you, apparently there's some super secret thing that there's a Jethro Tull UHQR coming. This is really sweet that they showcase the quality control people and how these technical specs manual of UHQR. It could have slipped in a package. Does it need to be in a box? No. It's nice to have this. Obviously, when you buy these, you collect these, and they're all the same. But I get that. It's kind of a nice, it tells you the whole profile of the pressing and how these records are pressed. And it's nice to know. You could do it on the website, but I get it. Does it need to be a book like this? I don't know, but it is, so be it. You're paying that much, you want to get something. Another team. It has their team autographed by Chad. Talks about their team. This is really sweet, with a little certificate type of Clarity vinyl UHQR. It seems to me this could have been combined with that last brochure. Could have been all sort of designed together. Now this has been upgraded. This goes from 8 pages to, I believe, 20 pages. It's a 20-page book, yep, 20-page book with an updated essay. Beautifully done. I think this is the best part. Again, this could have been in the sleeve. It could have been separate, in the gatefold loosely, so you pull it out so you don't get split seams. I did not have split seams. My cover was perfectly pressed. And then you have, obviously, as I said, the library. So let's talk about the music, and I'm going to compare it to the Merino cut. The original is really good. I love the original, but I've been listening to it for, 54 years now, 55 years. This is the best sounding record you'll ever hear. And the asterisk I said at the beginning is that not all the songs are the same. When I first put this on, and the opening track of Purple Haze, I wasn't wowed. I wasn't like, oh my God, wowed, like I was when I played Kind of Blue. Of course, Kind of Blue, you can't compare. It's a better recorded record. It's a smaller ensemble. It's live. It's a different type of beast completely. But the rock song, as great as it was, didn't blow me away. There's a little bit of a congestion, but that's in the recording. It's not the fault of this Bernie Grundman master, and it sounds really good. I'm just going to say a generalization here. I think this works best. The moody numbers, the surreal numbers, like Lover Confusion, The Wind Cries Mary, Third Stone from the Sun, Are you experienced? Probably, but the keeper here, I mean, they're all keepers, but the thing that wowed me when I flipped this over on side 2 and the opening of The Wind Cries Mary, to me, that wowed me. And I almost wish that was the first track. Of course, you're not going to change the track, and the whole beauty of this record is opening up with Purple Haze, and this came out of nowhere in 1967, one of the great debut albums of all time. So the merino cut is brighter. This has a better mid-range. It's smoother. From The Wind Cries Mary, it's smoother. It's sexier. It's soulful. I know it's not a technical audiophile term. You're not going to get that on my channel. Really, I don't do all that kind of lingo. But the hero of this album in terms of this clarity vinyl and the uptick are the moodier songs. The rest of them are great. Some of that high end that's maybe a little brittle on the merino cut is clipped better, smoother. This is definitely the better version. Is it $100 better? Because it's really about $100 difference between these two versions. That's for you to decide. It depends on your system, your ears, your room, etc. I will say though, and let me get up here, I just got this. This was the new Kevin Gray cut of What's Going On. This is cut at GZ press in the Czech Republic. A lot of record audiophiles hate their pressings. My copy was dead silent. My copy was actually flatter than this. They're both quiet. And again, you can't compare the pressing. This is a better recorded record, so it's really an unfair comparison. But when I played this last night, this is a sealed copy that's a copy that is going to the archivist. My copy I opened and played 3 times last night. This blew me away more than this initially blew me away. Unfair comparison, I get it, what they're recorded 6 years apart. This is an amazing recorded record where this is just a good recorded record at a time when these studios and these engineers really didn't know how to record loud rock and roll like this at the time. But I would say this is successful, again, with an asterisk because of the recording. The rock and roll songs, the hits, Foxy Lady, Hey Joe, Purple Haze, in a way are the least great sounding songs on this album. So if you're the Hendrix fan and you want those songs and you expect those to have this revelation that they're going to be just totally different, I think you might have a slight disappointment. But when you put on The Wind Cries Mary, Third Stone from the Sun, you'll just be in awe. It's a beautiful, beautiful recording. So ultimately, it's a successful record. And I know that Chad Kasem and Acoustic Sounds are really tight with the Hendrix estate. All the power to them, which is great. And that's why they're doing these records. I'm looking forward to hearing Electric Ladyland if they release that as one of these, and I will pick that up. But I'm one that's not going all in on the UHQR. Didn't get any of the other ones, the rock and roll ones. I rarely go for the MoFi box sets, the one steps, because again, I think those boxes are a waste of energy, a waste of time pulling them in and out of the boxes, a waste of money, and a waste of resources. But I give this, high marks. It's probably the best it's going to ever sound. In fact, it is the best version of this record that you'll ever hear, is my guess. So I do appreciate you watching. Any comments below? Everyone's going to have a different take on it. That's my honest opinion on it. I was very curious about it. I love this record. Jimi Hendrix Experience, UHQR. Lose the encyclopedia volume boxes. They're not going to do it, but that's just my taste, and enjoy it. So thank you again for watching. Mazzy loves you.